Good afternoon and evening, everyone. Welcome to this presentation. We are going to get to know the project called Accelerating Incomes through Diversification, funded by Heifer International and the Walmart Foundation. The purpose is to strengthen the organization of smallholder farmers who work in the life chain for beef and dairy in the states of Oaxaca and Chiapas in order to improve the life of the community life. This is a great news for the livestock sector, and this time we are going to hear more about their leaders and the beneficiaries. We're broadcasting from downtown in the city of Oaxaca, and we want to thank the presence of the media who are here with us today, and also you who are watching us in the distance to continue taking care of ourselves through the circumstances under COVID-19. Thank you for being here, and of course I want to thank the presence of the leaders of the program and also two beneficiaries of the program. Thank you, Oscar Cascañeda, who is Senior Vice President for the Americas from Heifer International, for being here with us. Also, the Director of Heifer Mexico, and we have also Gustavo Maldonado, Executive Director of Heifer Mexico, Raquel Salgado, who is Project Manager of this project, Patricia Larios, Director Pro Empleo, and Mercedes Villalobos and Enoch Enriquez Garcia, both of them who are farmer producers of this project. Thank you very much. We're going to start with Oscar Castañeda. He is Senior Vice President for the Americas, and we will get started about Heifer International. We know it's a foundation that started in 1944 and aims to end hunger and poverty while caring for the earth. Heifer International is aligned to the UN's 2030 agenda and has an inclusive and sustainable focus. Please, Oscar. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today in this launch of the Accelerating Income project launch. And I am here in the state of Arkansas, where Heifer International is headquartered. As you say, it's an organization, an international organization who is devoted to end hunger and poverty. It's an element that is really important to us. And in this case, our mission is to work with communities. We don't work for them or to them, but with them directly. This is a very important change to us. And also this project of Accelerating Income aims to work with 2,772 families, livestock families, people who produce beef and dairy. And the main objective is to contribute to resolve the problem with food security. That's number one. And in the second place, to improve the income of farmer families so they can achieve a good income so they can live a dignified life. In order to achieve this project has a very important element that we would like to consider that is or used to be the secret, but now we want to share it publicly to everyone. And the main element is that many of the activities, livestock activities, and farming activities, there is wealth generated for all the sectors, and the poverty remains for the producing families. In order to break this, in order to work in the market so that farmers and consumers can benefit from farming work, we need to have an element of competitiveness. And this competitiveness is linked to two important elements. The first one is to produce more, have a higher quantity, and the second one is the quality. But for a smallholder farmer, the challenge is not really quantity because they need to grow notably. However, we can bet on quality, and quantity can happen through the community organization. So this project focuses on helping farming families so they can improve their quality production, and also we can strengthen these organizations of farmers so that they can increase their capacity to negotiate better prices, to establish micro entrepreneurships that can provide services and incomes to farmers, and also facilitate the access to markets, to these markets that can guarantee better prices in the long term. Therefore, this project bets on competitiveness of the farmer associations, generating these micro-entrepreneurships that provide services and inputs, and bet on improving the quality of farmers' competitiveness. This is our commitment to work with the communities, with the farmers, which is the key element of this project. And we can achieve this thanks to the support and the partnership with entities that support this work. Specifically, we really thank publicly the Walmart Foundation, who is supporting in this project, aimed at it did so in the Rural Entrepreneurs Project, which is has a very important dimension because it's not only about entrepreneurships now, but female rural entrepreneurs. Because now we are betting on the field that women who manage their own businesses and generate their own incomes have more capacity to be empowered economically and socially, get ahead with their families, and move on in their communities in order to end hunger and poverty. So we celebrate today this huge challenge, and we also thank the Walmart Foundation and the other organizations who are supporting us to move on with this project and put it in practice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's move on to Gustavo Maldonado. He is Executive Director of FAFER Mexico. The presence of this foundation in our country has been really fruitful, and we would like to hear more about the beneficiaries and the projects we have consolidated in Mexico. Thank you very much. FAFER in Mexico has worked since 1977, and since then, we have contributed and supported 250,000 families up until now. As Oscar said, our mission is to end hunger and poverty while caring for the earth. And what we're looking for is for families to have a living income, that communities work in solidarity, and we can share the resources on this planet. The future is in farming families. As you know, these families, smallholder farmers, they produce 85% of the food products in the planet. All these foods that we receive come from these people who have small, micro, and medium entrepreneurships. However, most of this population lives in poverty. 6 out of 100 inhabitants live in poverty. And they also live in extreme poverty. That means they don't have the resources necessary to buy the basic foods they need. This is a problem where FAFER is trying to address as part of its mission. We work together with farmers, female farmers and male farmers, who are smallholder farmers, in order to strengthen their productive capabilities, in order to see how businesses can work and how we can strengthen them. And we want to link them to the market as well. This is really important. This is essential for the organization. FAFER contributes for farmers to take high-quality foods or products to the market at fair prices and directly benefiting these farmer families who are responsible for most of the foods that we consume in this country and in this planet. We also want to strengthen the assets they have for production, and we accompany them all along the process in many different value chains. We currently work on value chains like egg, coffee, honey, and livestock, as we are going to see in a moment. Especially our interest is also to link the leadership, women's leadership. They are responsible for 50% of production. However, only 17% receive an income out of work. for Mexico, this is really important to strengthen and empower women so that it can attain equity and they can have an access to income to contribute to the society's growth in general. And currently, if the situation was difficult already for smallholder female and male farmers, COVID-19 made it even worse. COVID has made us reflect about the situations that we have, how we relate to the earth, how we relate to the markets and to other human beings. So this is a good moment, a special moment, because we are not only working to strengthen female and male farmers, but we are doing so especially in communities among different farming families, and thanks to the contributions of our donors and our partners, it is possible to improve the conditions of life of female and male farmers in this country so they can achieve a living income and food self-reliance. Thank you very much. Many thanks, Gustavo Maldonado, Executive Director of Heifer Mexico. Now let's listen to Raquel Salgado, who is the Project Manager of Accelerating Incomes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Oscar and Gustavo, who are joining us in the distance. We are really happy here. We have Enoch, who is from the Exaltepec organization, and Mercedes from the organization from La Bardeña. And we would like to send our best regards to the other organizations that are not here with us in Matias Romero, in Puerto Escondido, in Espinal, and in Chiapas, in Pijijiapan, in Tonala, and Arbiaga. We have made all efforts possible to get closer to you, and we would have liked for them to participate this time. And what we can do is to send our warm regards. We know that some of them are going under difficult circumstances, but we are really excited to be here. We have had a preliminary stage for this project, some pre-evaluations, and Walmart and Heifer, they designed this project and they knew that we needed to get closer to the organization. So to Heifer, it's a change in their methodology. Usually the commitment for work is with the producers and the families, and this project is innovative because it's working at the level of organizations, of the farmer-producer organizations, as Oscar and Gustavo have mentioned. And in this way, we have been working as much as we can since last year. We have tried to understand what are the challenges for this project, and we're going to share more about this video. We're going to broadcast it to get more about it. Thank you.
Escala, realizan muchos esfuerzos en sus actividades productivas en el campo y sin embargo no obtienen un ingreso digno que corresponda a ese nivel de esfuerzo y a la importancia de sus actividades en el abasto alimentario. El proyecto Acelerando Ingresos a través de la diversificación se concentrará en fortalecer organizaciones de pequeños productores en México y en India. Se ocupará en profesionalizar el desempeño de los productores y sus organizaciones en la cadena de valor de ganado bovino para carne y leche, con la diversificación de los servicios que les ofrecen las organizaciones a sus productores. Por ejemplo, las ventas colectivas, la compra de insumos en volumen, el acceso al financiamiento.
En México, Acelerando Ingresos se construirá sobre los resultados positivos del proyecto Emprendedores Rurales, que fue apoyado por la Fundación Walmart.
Estamos trabajando con Heifer. Tuvimos el primer proyecto como emprendedores, y luego empezamos con nuestra veterinaria, una pequeña farmacia veterinaria que somos alrededor de 40 socios, y vimos una muy bonita oportunidad cuando vino la Fundación Heifer y nos dijo que nos apoyaran, y ciertamente desde esa ocasión nos empezaron a apoyar con cursos de capacitación de ganadería, de todo con la referencia del ganado, ¿no? Luego nos apoyaron con el pasto de caña Cuba 22, que también lo vio la gente con mucho entusiasmo, y todos nos pusimos a trabajar en eso, ¿no?
Acelerando Ingresos, a través de la diversificación, se encargará de fortalecer a organizaciones de productores agropecuarios que se desempeñan en la cadena de valor de ganado bovino para carne y leche, todos ellos ubicados en los estados de Oaxaca y Chiapas. En esta cadena, las organizaciones de productores agropecuarios buscan mejores condiciones para sus miembros, pero enfrentan las mismas dificultades que ellos para vincularse con actores del sistema de mercado formal, que les puede dar la oportunidad de formar parte de su proveeduría. En Acelerando Ingresos, se promoverá la introducción de especies vegetales que permiten un balance nutricional en la dieta del ganado, con fuentes naturales de proteína que además pueden mejorar el suelo y las condiciones de las praderas. A través de un entrenamiento en análisis económico y financiero al nivel de su rancho o de su unidad de producción, los productores y organizaciones podrán traducir su visión en planes de negocio que conducirán a la profesionalización de la cadena de valor y les permitirán diversificar los servicios que las organizaciones ofrecen a los pequeños productores. Al tiempo que las organizaciones de productores construyen habilidades para explorar y comprender los requerimientos de calidad de los mercados formales, construirán sistemas de información que les permitirán identificar su capacidad de oferta colectiva, y con esto podrán dialogar con compradores especializados y desarrollar confianza para negociar en mejores condiciones. Con Acelerando Ingresos, se fomentará el desarrollo de una visión empresarial, habilidades y mejores formas de trabajo en equipo y colaboración para habilitar a las organizaciones en el funcionamiento cooperativo que haga posible el incremento de los ingresos de los productores. La meta es incrementar el ingreso de 2.772 pequeños productores para colocarlos en el camino hacia el ingreso digno a través de la profesionalización de su desempeño en la cadena de valor de ganado bovino para carne y leche. Estamos arrancando, acelerando ingresos a través de la diversificación.
This is Accelerated Income through Diversification. Let's go again with Raquel Salgado, who is project manager, and she will tell us more about the details and goals of this project, as well as the linkages and the challenge behind the pandemic context we are living in, as well as the gender focus in this project. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you. From the video, we can talk about the activities that we are going to conduct. We have four main outcomes to improve the business activities of the farmer organizations. The second outcome has to do with improving what these organizations offer to the member farmers, and the result of this outcome is in the veterinary capabilities, better production practices, and the gracelands, better production from the gracelands. And number three has to do with strengthen the links to the market. We are going to work really hard here at the end of this year, and the outcome for it has to do with generating an entrepreneurial environment around these organizations and strengthen the ecosystem of the natural resources that allow the farmers to have a better project of life. We're going to have some indicators here. One of them has to do with increasing women's leadership and their participation in this value chain that has been traditionally more focused for men. However, there are women, and as a first step, we want them to engage, and we want to also mention they may have some challenges that they face as female producers. Part of the pandemic circumstances, I would like to say that there's this difficulty we have had to have a conversation with the farmers and with the organizations. In our first encounters, it was really a very interesting experience because we got there, the team got to their offices, and we checked their temperature and the tables and the chairs, we disinfected them. We tried to explain to them that it was the way we had to do it. It was not something about mistrust, but it was more about how we would get accustomed to working in order to continue communicating and visiting them. And together with them, we could negotiate the goals and design it better and create results. We started working with the face masks and the hygiene measures and everything, and we have received support from the farmers like Mercedes and Enoch because they knew Heifer from previous projects, and that was really valuable for us in order to continue the conversations and a sustained effort. Another challenge has to do with the operation. It has been difficult to make plans, dissolve them, and start all over. In this way, from the Mexico office in administration too has been really good in their support. We are very strict with our accountability, and making all these changes means having extraordinary efforts. And we have said to the farmers that we change one visit and propose that instead of meeting face-to-face, we can meet one-on-one, and a series of things that have made us understand as a project team that we need to move on. We need to move on nonstop, but without hurrying each other. We are taking care of these protocols, and we are trying to help as much as we can, and we are really open, and we know that plans can change. That we already know. However, we are not stopping. We are not stopping mainly because we see that farmers, female and male farmers in the field, and we can see they are really willing to continue working in the field regardless of the adversities that they are facing and that they have been facing for a long time, and that have worsened with COVID-19. And on our side, what we can do is to catch up and move on with our responsibilities for them to get the living income that they deserve in producing food. In this line and creating new plans, I would like to say also that the goals and the challenges cannot be achieved in an isolated way. Right now, we are building alliances and partnerships with ProEmpleo, for example. We have started some workshops for the organizations to create their own business plans, and they can be translated into activities that they have been doing and all the experience that they already have. Thanks to ProEmpleo, we have been able to move steadily from the beginning, and they have been really understanding as we needed to change plans 2 weeks ago. And we continue to seek for other ways to get started and to find other ways for the workshop to be conducted virtually. We have discussed the didactical process. It would be ideal to have an instructor, a trainer in person. However, it can be hard, and all the farmers and us, we are trying to do everything as better as we can, and as the pandemic is allowing us to do so. Thank you very much. Thank you, Raquel Salgado, for your intervention and for what you have told us. Before moving to Patricia Larios, Director of ProEmpleo, we can go to Gisela Noble from the Walmart Foundation. Without this effort, this project wouldn't be possible. So please, Gisela Noble. Many thanks. And congratulations for this project and the previous project for all the efforts and all the experience that Heifer has. We believe so much in the development of rural communities and productive development so that the families can do things better and we can share practices. I always think about this project in access to markets for all the foods that they provide, like fruits and vegetables. And this is about building a bridge between companies and producers and eliminate all kinds of barriers in this case. So that not only us as a company, but all the companies can think about opening new channels for producers, formal channels, and also educate consumers about what is good and what is worth buying, and grow along with the producers. At the same time, from the farmer's perspective, we can learn new practices that companies in terms of quality are requesting, and these practices, that financial practices, to be more profitable, to grow better and have more income. So congratulations on this. Continue doing this. Continue sharing all these practices that you are developing to this, not only to these farmers, but to other farmers and other organizations. I would like to think that if we have this vision of access to market, like the Walmart Foundation in the United States is encouraging through this project by funding it, we can really change reality. To me, working in eradicating these poverty conditions in many areas is by working, and it's the most responsible way is by transforming ourselves as companies, understanding what we need to understand and learning to do it differently in order to continue having the engagement of the farmers as our suppliers. So congratulations to the farmers who believe in this. It is not easy to believe in a new project that in one way or another they do so, and thank you for believing. Thank you to Hafer. I hope you have great success, and I really hope this can be useful to replicate the model in any other places. Thank you very much, Gisela Noble, for your intervention, Director of the Walmart Foundation. The project manager also mentioned ProEmpleo and the work they are doing together. So it's time to hear Patricia Larios. It's important to know what this work is being done with the female producers in the framework of this project, together with the work they are conducting together. Thank you. It is true. We are really happy to be here with you and presenting very briefly what we do in ProEmpleo. Again, we want to reiterate our trust and appreciation for the work that Hafer International and the Walmart Foundation is doing for the communities in southern Mexico, southeastern Mexico. We have 27 working as ProEmpleo, educating people and helping them with their abilities and strengthening them. These people have been able to develop 16,000 projects for small companies, and thanks to these productive businesses, they have been able to create 100,000 employments. There is a lot of work being done, and it's really significant. I think that what is joining us here today is that big changes that can be generated in the world occur through transformation. Oscar was mentioning about working with the people. I think that it's something that we all do here. We don't do it for them, but with them. And this is how ProEmpleo was born in 1994, with an intervention that was very clear, where we wanted to support people for them to have a source of income, for it to be sustainable, stable, and they could develop themselves as individuals and guarantee they can have well-being for them and for their families. We have always been focused on this capabilities, especially the enterprise capabilities. So people who want to start an entrepreneurship, they can start doing so, and they need to learn how to do it, and that's what we do. In the case of this project, we are really gladly to participate in accelerating income. What we seek is to increase the income of these farmers, especially with all the clarity that we have with the partners that are working together for this. We need to create better services. We need to have a good model of services so that everybody can have a win-win situation. We also believe that our model and the model of all the ones that we are here is that we can provide families, and that we can serve the families we can serve. We can provide all these tools to identify the opportunities they have around, and sometimes they cannot see because there is something over there that is going on, and they can face all the adversities that today and the rest of our lives will continue happening, so that they can continue innovating, starting an enterprise, and also having an idea of development. What we are doing here at ProEmpleo is we are addressing all this group of people in southeastern Mexico. There is no distinction among our population. We can attend or serve men for these actions. I think it's really clear. We want to build a better society with men and women, and of course, Heifer and the Wilmer Foundation, all the farmers, female and male farmers. We are going to have this commitment to transform this effort into a positive impact. And what we think is start from micro development, but get all the development for the rest of the country. You have our trust, and whatever we can do, of course, we are going to do so for this project to be successful. Thank you. Thank you. Let's remember that it's important to improve the family in this way. So we are going to listen to the beneficiaries too, in terms of their experiences. Mercedes and Enoch, what are the challenges that you face as smallholder farmers? And Mercedes, in your case, especially as women, what do you think about that? We are 11, and we are 11 people in our group, but I'm the only woman. It's 10 men, and I'm the only woman. So I don't get discriminated by my group. I participate, I say things. Heifer has helped us a lot. They have taught us many things. They have taught us about value chain and passing on the gift. We also have the grass, the improved grass, Cuba 22 grass, and we have an income. We make an income out of beef and milk. We have our livestock there, our cattle, and Heifer has helped us so much. And thanks to them, we have a scale, a community scale, and we want to continue having more income. That is what we need and what we want for our community. Thank you very much, Mercedes. Enoch Enriquez Garcia, if you can tell us more with your intervention. Thank you. Thank you very much to all. On behalf of my friends and my fellow farmers, I really want to say thank you for all the people who participate in this project. To Heifer Mexico, Walmart, and ProEmpleo. Thank you to all of you, because we believe in you. We believe in this project that is giving us new hope. We are just working on the field as our grandfathers told us, our grandparents, in a very routine, with a routine. But when Heifer comes to work with us, we see that fields can be better used. We can work on it differently, and we can get more out of it. We have been working with Heifer for the past 2 years. We started with a project called Rural Entrepreneurs, where that gave us a lot of satisfaction. We gained many things from it. We learned to do silos, microbalance food, improve the gracelands, and now with this new project, Accelerating Incomes, we hope that this will help the families of the field even more, because we are really seeing that change currently from the people that were working in with a very specific routine. We have seen the change, because now our heifers, our cows, are yielding better milk. They are healthier, and families, we are happier, and we are healthier too. Thank you, Enoch. Let's go back to Mercedes. How has the pandemic affected the activity that you do, and what is the role of the women in this activity? Thank you, Mercedes. Yes, the pandemic has been really difficult for us. It's really hard to sell an animal, a cow, because they can't go for it. We have the pandemic. There are many excuses, and it has really affected us negatively, as we sometimes have to sell our animals at a lower price, at the price that they tell us. Other sellers can't go to pick them or to buy them because they can't go there to compete. Sometimes they give excuses that the animal is not big enough, or is thin, or too big. And people in the community, people fatten, and the community, they fatten their own animals. And thanks to Heifer, they told us how to work with them, how we can work together, and know how to do silage. They have taught us many things that we didn't used to know before. Schaefer came here and taught us more in 2018. That's when we started working with them. And Schaefer has taught us to improve our animals' conditions, our animals' health. Affected your livestock activity, please. Well, honestly, if we had trouble already, for example, in my town, there is a lot of drought. There's very little rainfall. That's something we suffer from, and the field is not as productive as in other areas in the isthmus. So the pandemic came to really, kill us. And now we have a friendly hand from Heifer and Walmart. And as Mercedes has said, this has taught us to face this crisis better. We are working, we continue working and keeping our animals healthy so we can offer them to a new market, because we can really struggle with the local market. Prices are very low and inputs are on the rise every day. So farmers really struggle, have a lot of problems every day. So now that we hope that with all the guidance and the support of the technicians and the staff from Heifer, we can get ahead. Thank you very much. You have already said it. How did you decide to participate in this project? And above all, what has been your role in this training? And what do you expect from this project? From the first day we started working with Heifer and Walmart, we had hope. We started believing that working in a team, working with trained people, we can do many things. So we started working. For example, I didn't know Cuba 22 grass. Heifer brought it to us. No. And it's something that has worked really well for us. We started with 40 farmers. Right now we are over 200 who are working with passing on the gift. And we started working on the silage and balanced foods. And all this has made us believe even more in the guidance that Heifer and the foundations and the partner foundations provide to us. Technicians are with us almost every day, and veterinary staff are with us too. And any questions that we may have, we can talk to them, and we have a lot of support from them. And now with this new project, with accelerating incomes, we want to improve more day by day. I truly believe that the field is really just. Thank you. I am sure that Schaefer are going to give us more training to continue making more income. That is the way I feel we are going to get ahead more, because they have told us that due to the pandemic, they cannot go as often as before to our communities to give us more training. But I am certain we will continue improving, and thank you for the passing on the gift that they gave us with the moringa tree. And again, not because I am a woman, I have been discriminated. Not at all. We all work at the same pace. Thank you, Diversification, funded by Schaefer International and the Walmart Foundation, to improve the lives of female and male livestock farmers in the livestock chain for milk and beef in the states of Oaxaca and Chiapas. You can visit their social media and www.schaefer-mexico.org to know more about these programs. These programs are aimed to provide better food, a better health, better education, and better happiness. Thank you very much for being with us, and have a great night.